Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into the absolutely mind-blowing story of Johnny Depp, one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces, who's experienced incredible highs and devastating lows throughout his career. We'll be exploring some shocking truths about his life, including the bizarre pistol and boo incident in Australia that nearly ended with his beloved dogs being put down. We'll examine both the controversies and the comebacks that have defined his remarkable journey. So buckle up, this is going to be quite a ride. Let's start with one of the most bizarre incidents in celebrity history. In 2015, Johnny Depp was filming Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales in Australia. He decided to bring along his then-wife Amber Heard and their two Yorkshire Terriers, Pistol and Boo. Sounds innocent enough, right? Well, not quite. Australia has some of the strictest biosecurity laws in the world, and for good reason. The island nation's unique ecosystem is extremely vulnerable to foreign pests and diseases. Anyone bringing animals into the country must follow strict quarantine procedures, including proper documentation and a mandatory quarantine period. Depp and Heard, however, apparently thought these rules didn't apply to them. They flew the dogs into the country on their private jet without declaring them to customs officials. No paperwork, no quarantine, nothing. They simply bypassed the entire system as if their celebrity status put them above the law. The scandal broke when a dog groomer posted pictures of the pups on social media. Australian authorities quickly discovered that the Yorkshire Terriers had entered the country illegally. And that's when Australia's then Agriculture Minister, Barnaby Joyce, made international headlines with his uncompromising response. In his now infamous statement, Joyce declared, "Mr. Depp has to either send his dogs back to the United States, or we will have to euthanize them." He even added a deadline, saying, "It's time that Pistol and Boo buggered off back to the United States." The minister's blunt ultimatum ignited a global media firestorm. Suddenly, this wasn't just about breaking quarantine rules, it was about whether two innocent dogs would face termination because of their owner's disregard for the law. The public reaction was intense. Many Australians supported their government's strict stance on biosecurity, while others thought the threat to euthanize the dogs was excessive. Depp's fans worldwide rallied behind him, creating the ##WarOnTerrier that trended globally. Under this immense pressure, Depp and Heard quickly arranged for Pistol and Boo to be flown back to the United States, narrowly avoiding their demise. But the saga was far from over. The Australian government wasn't satisfied with just sending the dogs home. They decided to make an example of Heard and Depp to demonstrate that no one, not even Hollywood royalty, is above the law. In 2016, Amber Heard faced court in Australia, where she pleaded guilty to falsifying quarantine documents. In a twist that many found bizarre, she and Depp then created an apology video that can only be described as awkward and surreal. In this now infamous recording, a visibly uncomfortable Depp and Heard express their remorse and stress the importance of Australia's biosecurity laws. Depp, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else, delivers his lines with all the enthusiasm of someone reading a hostage statement. The video became an instant internet sensation, but not for the reasons the Australian government might have hoped. It was widely mocked for its wooden delivery and perceived insincerity. Australian officials, however, accepted the apology, and Heard received a 1-month good behavior bond with no conviction recorded. Barnaby Joyce later claimed victory, stating, "I don't think it'd be something they'd like to be doing again in a hurry, and indeed I doubt they would." What's particularly interesting about this incident is how it revealed a side of Depp that contradicted his carefully crafted public image. For years, he had portrayed himself as an eccentric but thoughtful artist, someone who marched to the beat of his own drum, but respected others. The dog smuggling incident painted a different picture, of someone who perhaps felt entitled to ignore rules that applied to everyone else. This dog smuggling scandal was just one chapter in what has been an incredibly turbulent period for Johnny Depp. Once the highest-paid actor in Hollywood, with his Jack Sparrow character generating billions for Disney, Depp's career and personal life began a dramatic downward spiral. Depp rose to fame in the late 1980s and early 1990s, with critically acclaimed performances in films like Edward Scissorhands, What's Eating, Gilbert Grape, and Ed Wood. His collaboration with director Tim Burton created some of cinema's most memorable characters. Then came Captain Jack Sparrow in 2003's Pirates of the Caribbean. The Curse of the Black Pearl, the role that earned him an Oscar nomination and catapulted him to global superstardom. But beneath the success, there were troubling signs. Reports of erratic behavior on set, excessive spending habits, reportedly $2 million per month at one point, and substance use issues began to surface. His management company later claimed he was spending $30,000 monthly just on wine. The Australian dog incident happened during a particularly tumultuous time in Depp's life. His marriage to Heard was already showing signs of strain, and this international scandal only added to their problems. Just a year later, in 2016, Heard would file for divorce and obtain a temporary restraining order against Depp, alleging domestic abuse. What followed was one of the most public and bitter celebrity breakups in recent memory. Heard's allegations severely damaged Depp's reputation and career. He was dropped from the Fantastic Beasts franchise and reportedly lost out on other major roles. His status as a beloved Hollywood icon seemed irreparably damaged. The story took another dramatic turn in 2019, when Depp filed a defamation lawsuit against Heard over an op-ed she wrote for The Washington Post. This eventually led to the infamous 2022 televised trial that captured global attention. The 6-week trial exposed the dysfunctional nature of their relationship to an unprecedented degree. Audio recordings, text messages, and witness testimonies painted a complex picture of their marriage. Public opinion, which had largely turned against Depp following the initial allegations, began to shift as new evidence emerged. The jury ultimately ruled largely in Depp's favor, awarding him $10.35 million in damages, while also awarding Heard $2 million on one counterclaim. The verdict was seen by many as a vindication for Depp, though legal experts have noted that the case was about defamation, not about definitively proving or disproving all allegations. Following the trial, Depp has experienced something of a career revival. He received a standing ovation at the 2023 Cannes Film Festival for his role in John du Barry. He signed new endorsement deals and has returned to directing with Modi, a film about Italian artist Amedeo Modigliani. What's remarkable about Depp's journey is his resilience. Despite the scandals, the career setbacks, and the public humiliations, including that awkward Australian apology video, he has maintained a dedicated fanbase that has stood by him through it all. Looking back at the Australian dog scandal, it's fascinating how it foreshadowed many of the themes that would dominate Depp's life in the years that followed. Questions about entitlement, accountability, and the complex relationship between celebrity status and responsibility. The incident revealed how even the most basic rules, like declaring pets at customs, can become international incidents when celebrities are involved. It showed how quickly public opinion can turn, and how one poor decision can spiral into a PR nightmare. But it also demonstrated Depp's ability to weather storms. While the dog incident was embarrassing, he ultimately moved past it, just as he would later attempt to rebuild his career and reputation after much more serious allegations. Johnny Depp's story is one of extraordinary talent, devastating personal problems, and remarkable resilience. From nearly getting his dogs euthanized in Australia to the very public dissolution of his marriage and subsequent defamation trials,
Depp has lived a life of extremes. Despite everything, he remains a cultural icon, with millions of dedicated fans worldwide. His portrayal of Captain Jack Sparrow has cemented his place in cinema history, regardless of the controversies that have surrounded his personal life. What do you think about Depp's journey? Has he been treated fairly by the media and public opinion? Do you believe in second chances for celebrities who make mistakes? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, even our biggest stars are ultimately human, capable of poor judgment, resilience, and everything in between. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.